Hey guys, I'm just going to do a brief summary of my discussion board write-up that I did today. I think that a resolution is when you have a certain issue and you come to a solution. So like in the word resolution, the word solution is in the word. So you would kind of assume that at the end of the discussion about the issue, or however the argument, however you want to say that, that there's going to be some kind of solution that the people involved came up with. Now for reconciliation, that's more of an emotion type thing where you take two people's sides, two or more people's views, and kind of not necessarily make them agree with each other, but kind of come to, it could be an agree to disagree kind of situation, or kind of come to a come to terms kind of thing. Maybe not walk away from the issue with a solution, but walk away feeling better than when you walked into it. A conflict that I was recently involved in, like I said in my previous discussion board, I work at Hurricane Harbor over the summer, and I deal with a lot of different age groups and a lot of different kinds of people in and out of that place all day long. And I had an employee of mine confide into one of my colleagues about suicidal thoughts and just stuff that he was struggling with in his life. And my colleague confided in me, and as a supervisor, you know, protocol is that you have to tell your superiors, because, you know, that person could kill themselves on the property, or just, you know, just in general. Like, my bosses are pretty much some of my really, really good friends, and they're my mentors. So I went to them, and it was kind of a whole big deal because, you know, my colleague was super upset with me because I wasn't supposed to tell anybody. But you can't, as someone who suffers from depression and suicidal thoughts from the past, I still suffer with depression to this very day. Sorry, words are hard. But you know, you can't just stand by and not help someone, because it's very hard when you are depressed to get help for yourself. But this is not a TED Talk about depression. So basically the conflict is when we did, my colleague and I, when we did meet with our bosses, we were kind of confused on what route we were going to take, whether we were going to go the protocol route or we were going to pull him in ourselves before we went to the police about it. But my bosses decided to go the protocol route, involve the police, not in a, hey, let's go to the mental hospital, but hey, let's talk about what's going on in your life, like what can we do for you kind of thing. And really the third side of it was our employee, because he had no idea that we were doing any of this. You know, he was kind of all in his own world. And the 18th camel ended up being the fact that he did actually have to be taken to the mental hospital a little while after that against his will, because he just really needed that kind of help. And so I said that my colleague and I could have taken our employee to the balcony by just like pulling him aside, maybe setting up a meeting time with him outside of work, and just talk to him about what was going on and what we both knew about him, and just like be like, hey man, like if you're not, like if there's no way that we can help you as your friends, you know, this is the route that we're going to have to take. What can we do to avoid that route, because we want to just get you help right away. And so I really think that Yuri's concepts that he was talking about in his video tied to the leadership concepts and like individual behavior type topics from our textbook relates in a way of like, as leaders and as individuals, we need to be focusing, we just sometimes put on our listening ears instead of thinking about like what we have to say, about what we think, and just really listen to other people's sides of the story, and just kind of come together and really just listen to all sides of the story before making a decision about everything. Thanks for listening.